Hello, welcome back to Fantasy Premier League in preparation for Game Week 6. This video is part 1 of 2, which focuses on the transfers and decisions that need to be made for my team, as well as an update on an injured player. Then additionally, later on, part 2 will follow, which will look at my final team choice, the decisions I've made with my bench, who I've selected as captain, as well as the transfer that has been made. And that will be my team locked in for this game week. Additionally, for the first time this season, fantasy football starts on a Friday, which is today. The deadline is 18:30, so make sure to make your changes. Select who you want, bring in transfers today before 18:30, okay? So let's get into it. This is my team currently. My goalkeeper is Martinez, I'm happy with. My defence and attack is fine. I'm giving Werner another chance because due to his performance last game week, it surprised me. So I hope he can continue that form. The problem though lies within the midfield once again for the second time in a row. Last week it was De Bruyne who was injured. This week it's Rodriguez. Now, I think Rodriguez will most likely be playing again by next game week, but for the time being, I don't want to miss out on too many points. So I was questioning whether to transfer him out for this game week, bring somebody else in, or maybe sub him off, bring someone from the bench on. However, my bench is a problem. If we look at the quality of it, Reece James, Costa and Aguisa. I don't know if I can bring Reece James on for Rodriguez to make it a 5-2-3. I don't know if that's possible or not. Probably not. So that rules that out. Then it's between Costa and Aguisa. Aguisa is 4.5 million. He's cheap. He doesn't do much. Doesn't get many points. No surprise there. Costa, though, is 5.6 million. So he's fairly costly. And based off his performance, he doesn't seem to be worth that value. So I'm starting to think the best option is to keep James Rodriguez in the team. Don't get rid of him. But bring on someone from the bench. But with Costa, get rid of Costa, bring somebody else in, and then use them to replace James Rodriguez for this game week. That's the method I'm going for. So moving on to the next slide, it will be between these 4 players who I bring in and take out Costa. All in all, it's going to be an upgrade regardless in terms of the quality of the player and the points produced. The question is who to have. Starting off with Kai Havertz, 21 points at the moment. Like with Werner, I think they're starting to find their step in the team and are starting to perform well and how they should do. Havertz has been getting a fair few assists consistently now. Although they are facing Man United this game week, they could still stand a chance. So that's why I'm considering bringing in Havertz. He is 8.4 million. And Costa, who I've got in my team at the moment, is 5.6 million. But I do have money left over, which can go towards bringing in Havertz. If I get rid of Costa, I've got 9.4 million. If I had 9.5, I would consider Rashford, but I can't afford him. So it could be Havertz I bring in. If not that, Zaha is a good option. With 35 points at the moment and consistently getting at least 1 goal in per match or so, he seems like a safe option and he's a good player. The question is though, how will Crystal Palace perform against whoever they're facing this time round? You got Townsend, who can also perform well, but he's mainly the assister, and you want more points, so you'd go for goals scored, which is Zaha. So Zaha is definitely a key one to take in mind. He is 7.2 million at the moment, and he'll probably keep on rising if he continues the way he does. So that's one thing to consider before it's too late. If not him, I've got Mahrez as another option. Now, I don't know if City played in the first game week. I can't remember. But regardless, Mahrez is another option at 8.4 million, I think. He's only on 17 points, but he seems to be included more now in the squad at the moment, because of their injuries. So that's one thing to consider. So I could bring him in. Pair him up with Foden. Maybe that could work out. If not that, the final option is Jack Grealish. The most points out of this selection, 38 points. Seems to be performing well. And the overall team, Aston Villa, are performing well in general. The goalkeeper's doing well, making key saves. The defence seems quite good at stopping the opposition. And you've got a mix, a range of attackers, midfielders, all getting involved with the goals scored and assist. So it is kind of difficult choosing which Aston Villa player I would want, because there's a range of them doing quite well. I mean, you've got Watkins, but I think he's a striker, so that rules that out. The only other player I'd consider was McGinn. McGinn is doing well as well. But I think Jack Grealish is just slightly better, so that's why I'm aiming towards Grealish. Grealish is also 7.2 million, same as Zaha. So it'll be between Jack and Zaha, most likely. So that concludes that for now. Part 2, the deadline, the final team selection choice will be up later. We'll see what happens. Goodbye.